What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your weekend astrology forecast for the weekend of January 15th and the 16th of 2022. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. I appreciate you all so much. I hope you're doing well. Yesterday kicked my butt, and what a roller coaster, and this Mercury retrograde square Uranus is no joke. So, sending you all my absolute best. I hope you're doing well and flowing because, oh my gosh, wow. Anyways, let's take a look at the weekend. So, Saturday, we got the sun at 25 degrees, which I love net sevens. They're very divine, spiritual, floaty, imaginative. It's kind of, I'm a sun Neptune, kind of just like there's a dissolve, if you will. But today feels more like with the moon coming into Cancer, building up to this full moon, like talk about just a day to surrender, which is hard because we're in Capricorn and we want things and we want to go farther and we want to make things happen. And there's a lot of emotion and stuff in our personal life, and even just stuff within whatever our personal life situations are that need to be, maybe looked at and addressed. That's where there's gonna be a lot of heightened emotion that we're feeling right now. So yes, there could be a lot going on in terms of what's going on the outside, whether it's a job, whatever, but it might be the home stuff or your personal stuff, your personal emotions that are so amped up right now that the only way we're going to find security is literally by taking a deep breath and saying, okay, and accepting what we're feeling and accepting what is. And I feel like patience is so important right now. So we just have to, it's a good test of that. Patience is a virtue, and we're all going to be stronger moving forward. I even had to tell myself yesterday, it's not always going to be like this. So we're in sort of this vortex right now of maybe feeling almost in like a timelessness where time is moving extremely fast, but it can also feel like it's moving slow, and there's so much bubbling up that we have to deal with, and it's personal stuff. And that's the most important thing. So how are we handling situations? How are we handling how people in our environment are making us feel? Relationships, Venus retrograde, a lot of that's getting worked over. However, this moon will trine Jupiter in the morning, and that is really beautiful, but it does amplify sensitivities with Jupiter in Pisces here, but it also amplifies the gifts that the surrender can provide you if you're dealing with your emotions. So it's like definitely an amplified emotional day, but I don't think that has to take us out of our love or our compassion for, I would say ourselves and other people, but it's almost like really with the moon in Cancer here and this Capricorn stuff, we got to deal with our own stuff and have compassion for ourselves. That will, of course, resonate out to other people. It's often usually when we're not being empathetic towards ourselves or compassionate towards ourselves that we get snappy with people. So it's an amplified emotional day. The moon's also going to square over to Chiron in the evening. So talk about more of that emotional deep dive and having to kind of surrender to our direction that we really do want to go. But if it's not looking like we think it's going to look, there's so many factors playing in this Mercury at 10 degrees square Uranus with Saturn, and Saturn and Uranus are still in square. There's a lot of radical changes that could be taking places in our environment that are getting like an overhaul and a relook here. So there is so much about the future and how the future is just right around the corner to show up, but maybe not right now. And that's maybe where the patience and the surrender and kind of just the emotional security that we ultimately want to find today. But it's not I don't feel like it's just going to be a piece of cake to find it, if that makes sense. I feel like it's going to push our sensitive buttons on Saturday. So there's definitely a lot to go on, and we got to remember too that the sun is at 25, so it's a degree away from Pluto. So this weekend is such a deep dive with Sun-Pluto conjuncting, and the sun is shining a light on our fears, on what we really need to feel emotionally secure. So there's a lot that is being shown to us right now about ourselves. And Capricorn season 2 and a Venus retrograde here, we're definitely learning to be more responsible for our feelings, our emotions, our life. And that's part of that's part of the growth. And Capricorn brings growth too, and maturity. So there is a lot of growth and maturity in this time that is helping us for where things are going. But it's not a joke this weekend, I'll be honest. And of course, Venus is making the semi-square to the south node, sesquiquadrant to the north node. So when it comes to our values, it's definitely in a very strange angle to destined spots with the north node, south node. And the north node is in the Pleiades. And it's also in the nakshatra Kritika, which is sharp. You know, it's not very nurturing. So right now it's almost where we're cutting away things in life that aren't nurturing us, so that we can, and maybe these are feelings, maybe these are stories we tell ourselves with the south node finishing in Sagittarius, so that we can ultimately shift our belief and shift our own way of intuitively knowing where we can create and where we don't want to create, and what's that going to be like with people, what's that going to be like with money, values. These things are all coming up big. So yeah, it's a day on Saturday. And then on Sunday we do get the Sun conjunct Pluto, and we're building up to that full moon, which will be on Monday, and we're getting the moon oppose Venus, which is whoa. Like, gosh, Venus retrograde getting opposed by this moon in Cancer, building up to this full moon. There's going to be, you know, and with the Mercury retrograde, which is moving off 10 but still square Uranus, and the moon sextile Uranus with Venus coming back close to the trine. Shocking. There are shocking things that are going to happen in our life this weekend that are a part of going deep below the surface to find our power, but it's also showing us where we have zero power. And that's what this Sun Pluto is going to show to us. Like, if we're just going in a direction and it's not working, but we feel like we can control any situation in life, especially relationships, money, a lot of home situations too, we're in for a Pluto lesson here of how things can be taken away, and what that looks like, who knows? But we're all going to go through something where this weekend could feel like something gets taken away that was unpredictable, but it's ultimately bringing us something of more value. So I don't believe that if anything gets taken away right now, or, leaves for any reason, that you could assume that you'll never get better. I think this is a value upgrade overall, and it's teaching us a lot of emotional responsibility, a lot of emotional security, but also how to be secure in what is going to be better and the best for us moving forward. But it takes grit. Like, I feel like there's a lot of grit right now that just, we have to channel that. And the moon is going to finish off with a trine over to Neptune. So it's very sensitive. It's a sensitive, deep dive. It almost feels like a dark night of the soul, kind of stuff. But we have to go into these healing spaces within ourselves and really get comfortable with what's there, or get comfortable with our dark, so that we can really see the light that is about to come through. So there is so much light on the horizon. I feel like right now we're in a place of maybe not fully seeing that show up like we're looking for, and that can put us in, we don't want to doubt ourselves or be too hard on ourselves. I think, if anything, this weekend and this full moon it's definitely bringing up changes in our personal lives so that we can feel more secure in our own bodies, in our own emotion, in our own homes, with the right people. It's definitely, it's a lot, I'll be honest. This weekend's not, it's definitely not just like, astrologically, it's not the easiest flowing weekend in the world. But like I keep saying, there's really cool stuff coming, so we just have to kind of weather this storm and be able to look at dark spaces inside of ourselves, in our own life, with people, mostly ourselves, but this is where we get the reflection in people too. And we don't want to obsess over what once was or what things were like, because there is this knowing that the future's coming, and you know intuitively right now, and we're very sensitive and in tune with what is going to make it in that future and what is not. And we can hold on to things that are not for any reason under the sun because of comfort. And this is a weekend where you're going to be tested on, you probably definitely know something about where your future is going, but it tests your root chakra. It tests if you can be grounded and stable in unstable times. So, sending you all my absolute best. I'm gonna pull a card. If anything, this, you know, if you have a great weekend, then that's amazing. And I think that it's absolutely, people will have great weekends this weekend. So I'm not trying to say like nobody's gonna have a good weekend, but if you have a really positive weekend with this energy, I think it's gonna show you really, it's an attestment to your alignment in these times of change and your adaptability. And I think that, you know, hats off to anybody that's feeling secure and comfortable right now, because it feels like a really big test to me energetically and with the astrology. So, yeah. Whew. Crazy times. What's the card? Oh my God, five of cups again. That's so funny. We just pulled that from this deck. Well, it's a lot like the Five of Cups traditionally. I feel like this weekend, when I tap into the energy, it feels like that card in the traditional tarot of apathy, or feeling really down and out, or not good enough inside because of these deep dives or these tests. And this is ultimately where whatever goes down this weekend, it's giving us a really good emotional foundation and emotional maturity to say bye to the aspects that are making us feel that way. So whether we're releasing something within ourselves, or, you know, whatever the circumstance may be, we're saying bye to something this weekend that it wasn't going to bring us the happiness and the joy and the great emotions that we were looking for anyways. So I think we can be happy for the transformation that is coming, because it is a deep dive and it is a deep transformation, but this is the transformation necessary for the greatest things that you could possibly imagine to start making room. So we're cleaning out the car, cleaning out the bedroom, if you will. There's things that they don't have a place anymore, whatever that may be. It could be actually physical things, or it could be just within you, because you're making room for the abundance that you do desire. I love you all very much. I am not going to be able to do the weekly shows. If I get them out, I was feeling very inspired and had a moment, but busy weekend for me. A lot is going on, so I will miss doing that with you. But yeah, I'll get on here and I'll be here Monday. I'm not going to stop the dailies, just the weekly longer shows. Too much right now. All right, sending you all my best. Have a beautiful weekend, and I will talk to you all and see you all very soon. Much love. Peace.